Oh, I enjoy living up here in the woods, I believe, more than anything, because I got a lot of kick out of just walking in the woods. And on the trap line, why, I could see things happening all the time, you know. Watch what the game was doing, what they were thinking, timber wolves and that, you know. Now, if I get into a big city or something, I can't wait till I get out of there. And I don't see no fun in the big place because it just seems that people are in a hurry and they're worried about, they go to work in the morning by the whistle and come home with a whistle, and it's free here. You've got a lot of freedom. If I want to go fishing, I go fishing, or if I want to hunt, I'll go hunting. And I like the things around here, so I never want to get out of here. Further I can get back into the woods and find new stuff, I like it. And when I come up here in the woods, I was looking for wild country. And why I couldn't find a birch bark canoe, I thought I'll make one. There was so much birch here, and big ones any size you wanted, and they wasn't even buying it then. I thought this would be the place to make one, but I wanted to see one on the water. Nice yellow canoe, like that poem. I'd read that poem of Hiawatha so many times. Thus the birch canoe was builded. First thing, making a birch bark canoe, I go in the woods and get a cedar for the frame. I look for a straight grain cedar, and I cut it and split it into quarters so I can pack it out. Oh, we first come here in 1921. And we stayed with my wife's uncle, and he was one of the first settlers up here. He had buckskin clothes and long black hair and a black mustache, and they'd haul in moose. It was really a wild country then. We just got married. Didn't have much money, and we moved into an old empty homestead shack, and the floor needed fixing, so I patched that up where the porcupines had chewed and made some furniture made out of green popple. That stuff started sprouting. It was so damp in the summer that it would grow like a green piece of wood and got a big sprouts on it. That was the first piece of land I bought. That was 40 acres. I had enough money saved up for the woods from trapping and that, so I could buy a piece of land. And then I traded that for an 80 acres on the river. And that was an awful nice place. And we had that for a while, and it got into the Depression. There was no chance to earn any money, and they wouldn't buy no furs or anything. So I lost it. So then I waited a year or so, and I bought another place. Then the neighbors, they come together, and in one day we built a log shack on it. Then we had our own place. I paid $100 for 7 acres. And my tax was 99 cents on 7 acres. Well, after we built this, now we lived here ever since. After I get the cedar home, if it's dry, I soak it, and then I split it into planking and gunwales, and the ribs have to be shaved. And when we first come here, we'd shoot our meat, you know. We shot our venison even out of season, didn't make no difference, but we never wasted it. And then we had one of these stone crocks sunk in the swamp. Sometimes there's ice in there all summer, you know, under them spruce bogs. You'd put your venison in there to age till it was, well, you put it in there till it's almost slippery, you know. Boy, then it's really good. You can cut it with a fork then. And then after I had the cedar, split into thinner stuff for planking, and then you steam them or soak them there. We'd start out in the spring, as a rule, and make maple syrup for pancakes, and then a little later on, the rough fish would be running in the creeks. Well, we get a lot of rough fish and smoke them and can some of them. Of course, then the berries started coming. Strawberries would come out, wild strawberries, and we'd get them. And then the raspberries come on right after that. Then the blueberries. After the blueberries were over with, as a rule, well, then it was about duck season. And then it was time to get venison. Of course, then a little later on, then the trapping began again in the fall. After it got cold enough, why the furs were good, we trapped. And then the hunters would come, and we generally would guide the hunters and make a little money that way. After I get the planking and the ribs made, and then you steam them or soak them there. After I steam them, and then I bend them over a form, because it's so much easier than the way the Indians did to stand on them and pull them up or bend them around a tree. That's the way I shape them. Well, after I get the planking and the ribs made, then it's time to get the bark. In June and July, it peels the best. And then it's important to get a straight tree, no burls or low limbs, and it has to be the right thickness and the right diameter. You can also get the spruce roots at the same time you get the bark. You know, man has really destroyed a lot of this wildlife. The moose was never killed off in this country. They were drove out by the loggers. A moose will freeze to death in the popple brush where they got to have green timber. That's why they're moving back. They won't live here. You see, all these governors, like the wolf and the northern, the fish, you know, they keep the sick ones out. Now you can take and fish right in a bunch of shiners and put them on your hook and throw them right back in that bunch of shiners, and you'll only be a few minutes till you see the silver flying when there's a northern comes in and grabs that shiner. he sees he don't swim right. He don't swim right, and there's something wrong with him. So he grabs him. He thinks, well, that's easy mark, I'll catch him. So they take the sick ones. If the chain, that nature chain, ain't broken too bad, that the timber will come back enough, if they'll quit logging and make paper out of something else, we might bring it back. They could bring it back, maybe. Then I would get the bark and tack it on a, I call it a platform, that table there, and cut it into sheets. You have to put the yellow side out. That's the inside of the bark as it grows. The inside of it goes out because that's smooth, and the white side is also rough and moss growing on it and all that. So I use, it has to be that way. It's always been, all the canoes that I've seen that Indians made were always that way. When you get ready to do the sewing and the binding, why, then you get the roots, put them in water to keep them soft, and strip the bark off. The right name for the roots is wattup. They'd always carry some along with them, those voyagers. And then you split them half round, then you're ready to start binding. When I couldn't build boats in the summer, or in the winter, I trapped all them years. There was, I don't know, I trapped for years, you know. Had about 7 lines, so I was busy every day, walking about 7 or 8 miles a day. I think the walking was healthy too, because right now, both of us is in good enough shape. We walked to town not very long ago. This coming September, I'll be 70 then. I used to make canoes with nails, but that didn't have any meaning until I met McLean, a neighbor of mine. He'd seen the Indians make them, and what he told me and what I'd figured out for myself, well, I finally got so I could make them without nails and glue or anything like that. After the bark is sewed, then we put a form or pattern in the middle. The form is propped down from the ceiling with posts. Then we bend up the bark around this form and put our jigs on the sides of it to hold the bark upright. Then we put the gunwales on and clamp them there. The bows are separate, you see, you've sewed them separate. And then we shove the bows on each end and put the bark between the inside and the outside gunwale. After they're in, then you try to bind them gunwales up on the bow there, or on the two bow pieces or points. I trapped a lot of wolves myself, but I see now it was time to quit, and I'm just as well satisfied that they took the boundaries off. Like one time, I had a snare set under a log, and it was in February when the wolves are mating, you know. And I had a female in this snare, and there had been 5 males there, and they would dug all the snow away. They wouldn't get up close to her because the snare was on her neck. The snow was about 2 feet deep. They dug all that snow away clear around her, thinking it would help her to get out. When I come, well, I could see all their tracks running away where they'd taken off and run. Well, I come pretty near letting her out. If I could have got her out of the snare, I was petting her on the head with a little short stick about 1 foot long. If I could have got her out without her biting me, I'd left her go. Then, after the bindings are on, then the next thing is to put planking and ribs in. The planking is, another name would be shakes or splints. The French, they call them splints. Shove the planking into the bow and start in the point, put the first rib in. Oh, yeah, your thwarts, of course, you've got to bind on. You put 4 thwarts on them. They're just split out of a piece of cedar, or say 5/8 thick, and then shaved a little bit thicker in the middle and on the ends. The Indians, as a rule, they made their gunwales thinner, you see. That's why they had so many thwarts. But I never liked too many thwarts. I'd sooner make the gunwale a little heavier and have more room in the boat instead of being jumping over them thwarts all the time. Your pitch is asphalt, of course. If you can get spruce pitch and know how to temper it with lard and pound charcoal in it, charcoal helps to keep it from running, and also to make it black. But generally, if you put a teaspoonful of lard or bear grease in it, that in 2 quarts, that would make it pretty good. I put a thin coat on first, on the bark. Just get it hot enough so that it'll spread. The Indians just take a stick, an oak stick, and make it like a little paddle, and use that to smear on thicker stuff, so that they have enough on there so they can round it off and cover all the seam, you see. Because where she's lapped there, you've got to put a little more on one side than on the other to make an oval. All right, then after you get that much pitch on, and then the holes filled, and your bow filled, why, that's just about it. there's a lot of things in the modern that it seems they work better in some ways, but still the old things looks to be good to me too. And then I thought that the birch bark canoe was pretty, and the Indians had practically lost it. They couldn't do it anymore. So I thought somebody ought to keep this thing a-going and keep them so people could see how they were made. And so that was one reason. And I always thought they were pretty. I had a hobby that I liked to see them on the water. They belonged in this woods country, I always thought. So that was kind of why I liked to build them.